good morning, and welcome to another very informative session of Property Nuggets with Real Expertise Properties Agency. I hope you guys are good. I hope you guys are well tuned and ready to engage with us on today's session. In front of you, as you may know, is Mpumi Mahlaba, and I am the head of administration of this company. As per norm, I'm going to ask our guests to just briefly introduce themselves. They are not new. You are very much familiar with them. And after them introducing themselves, we will then get right into today's topic.
Good morning to everyone who's watching. My name is Levi Skosana. I'm a real estate agent here at Real Expertise Properties. Today we'll be speaking about the buyers.
Morning, everyone. This is Thabo Hlanze. I'm the office manager. Hope you'll enjoy this session today. Feel free to send questions. We'll able to answer them. Few maybe afterward we can answer the other ones. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. So as Levi's had briefly said, today we are going to be focusing on our buyers. Our topic being key nuggets for buyers. So just to recap on the session we had before this one, we were discussing about pre-approval. So I'm just going to do a short recap on that. So a pre-approval is a process whereby a bond originator checks for your affordability and checks for your credit score before you can begin with the buying process. And my first question will be, if a pre-approval is done, Levi's, I think I can give that one to you. What happens to clients who have a bad scoring, but if it wasn't for the scoring, they'd be able to afford a property of any amount? How do we assist clients whose score is currently poor? How do we help them or advise them for their score to pick up and be good, be very good, or be excellent? What key advices can you give to our clients who are struggling with their credit scores?
There can be a number of things that affect the scoring to begin with. So obviously, when we do the pre-approval, that's where we're going to find out exactly what causes the scoring to be low.
Yes.
And then we will need to fix that. But I can't exactly tell you what we're going to do or what not are we going to do, but it will solely depend on that particular individual and their credit score.
Yeah. For example?
For example, let's say sometimes people maybe you go to a doctor with a medical card and the medical card maybe it's exceeded.
Oh.
Now you think you're gonna pay, but now when they actually do the payment, it bounces. Doctors usually they won't be calling you asking for their money and stuff. They will just simply put a judgment on you, and that will definitely affect the scoring.
Oh, okay. All right. Would you like to add anything, boss?
I don't know. Maybe my manager.
Yeah. As Levi was saying, there are a number of things that affect. Ne? So one of the is that when you're using the medical aid, so they just hand it over. So, but each and every individual here in South Africa, I know that you have a right to draw your credit check once a year. So you can do that with TransUnion or Experian.
And it's free?
Yes, it's free once a year. And then other things that can help to pick up your score, if maybe say you didn't have your clothing account, you can open one or two of them. If you're using sorry to say, like if you're using Capitec, you can change to one of these major banks, these 4 banks, and when you open that account, it should be a check account. You see? Yes, so that actually it also increase your score a bit, and you can also maybe open a credit card, but not to use that money for major things and stuff like that. Maybe a 5,000 credit card, and then make sure you pay it back, because the credit score, it's based on on the credit, that can you able to manage any credits, because the house will be a credit,
Yeah.
you know. Yes, so they want proof that you can able to pay your bond. All right. So if you don't have, because it's not about actually being handed over all the time. Sometimes you don't have accounts at all. Like people who are cash buyers, they are sort of like a high risk because they don't have proof of their credit.
Yeah.
So they don't know if they can able to handle to pay credit. So if you are a cash buyer as well, we can advise you to open like a clothing account and use it, not opening only,
Yeah.
but you must use it. So I usually say
And
to
pay on time.
pay on time. I usually say to cash buyers, open the account, because you are a cash buyer. You open the account, say you want to buy clothes of 1,000 rand. You buy those clothes of 1,000 rand, and then the following day you pay that 1,000 rand. Yes. So you have actually bought those clothes cash, but indirect,
Yeah.
because you wanna
Build your
increase. Yes, you wanna build your credit score.
Okay.
Yes. So, and like continue to be paying on time. Like if it's healthy, then it's gonna benefit you at the end.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. I just wanted a quick recap so that we are clear or wrap up the process of a pre-approval. Now, a lot of people have been asking or hearing rather on the news and everywhere that our prime rate here in South Africa is actually at its lowest. For the first time, I think, in about 25 years or so. So I just wanted to touch on that because sometimes for clients, it doesn't really make sense. How do I benefit from the prime rates being low? What exactly is the prime rate? So if we can maybe differentiate what the prime lending rate is and the interest rate, just so that there's a balance to our viewers at home as to what it is. And in terms of real estate and purchasing a house, how does a buyer benefit from our prime rates being at its lowest here in South Africa?
Yeah, remember last year during the level 5 lockdown,
Yes.
the repo rate was cut 3 times.
Yeah.
So definitely, if a repo rate is cut, it means there are a lot of cuts
Yeah.
in interest. But I'll let my manager elaborate on that one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the repo rate, if I'm not mistaken, it stands at 7% now. So that means the benefit. Okay, if it's on that 7%, just to clarify, it doesn't mean that houses are cheaper.
Yeah.
But it means because the bank it benefit from borrowing you money and they benefit on interest.
Yeah.
So meaning if it is on 7%, it means the repayment it will be lower compared to when it was 10.25.
Yeah.
Yes. So it means that. So it is the buyer's market, if we can confirm that, based on that repo rate cut.
Yeah.
Yes. So on the interest rate, that one of a personal interest rate that you wanna get when you apply and get the final grant, that one differs, as we were talking about the credit score.
Yeah.
So it will differ on individual in behavior,
Yeah.
financial behavior actually. So someone might get like that 7%, someone might get 6 something percent, or 8%, 9%, depending on the conduct, on their financial conduct.
So it's a personal risk profile.
Yes, personal risk profile, if we may say that. So if you are a high risk, you might get 9, something like that. Yes, but it stands at 7% at large, based on the home loan department.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'm well answered. So it doesn't necessarily mean that houses are cheaper. Houses stand as they are, but it does affect, the repayment amount, because obviously your interest will not be too high, just to clarify that. So for an example, if I buy a property of R1 million, I should be paying around 10,000 with other costs, obviously 10 plus, and meaning that it might be even 9 with the interest rates being low. Just to give a bit of an example, a light of so that our viewers have some sort of an idea what exactly we mean.
Okay. Normally, when it's 10.25, if you're buying a house of $1 million, the repayment will be 1% of that purchase price. Ne?
Yes.
So meaning it will be 10,000,
Yeah.
and then they will add the insurance of the house and all that. So at this stage, if you buy a property of $1 million, you might pay. Let's say you are a good client, your scoring is good and all that. You might pay 7 point something. You know, yes. But normally you're supposed to pay like
10,000 plus.
Yes, 10,000 plus.
All right, I hope that's clear enough for our viewers at home. So, like my boss has just said, it is indeed a buyer's market. And now, going on to the process of registration, we spoke about a final grant, I think, in our previous session. What I want to find out, or not really find out, but what I'd like for us to get across to our clients and our viewers at home is, after a client obtains a final grant, is there anything that they can do for that final grant to be messed up, or for their affordability or their credit score to jeopardize their process to registration, even if the transaction is now with their attorneys? Is there anything that the clients can do maybe to jeopardize that? Because I know that once a transaction is at the attorneys, they will still check that, does this client really qualify, you know, and go back to the final grant. Can we advise our people at home to maybe not mess it up for themselves, you know? Because sometimes people get excited. I got a final grant. I'm about to own a property, and then boom, yimloy, I'm going to splurge it on furniture, and I'm going to go buy a car. And the process, I have not yet received the house. The house is not yet in my name. What advices can we give to them at home?
Look, once you get a final grant from the banks, now there will be many companies that will be calling you, offering you things like credit cards, maybe personal loans and stuff. So now, if you are gonna take maybe a credit card or a personal loan on top of that final grant, definitely it's gonna affect you moving forward, because before the banks issue guarantees at the final stage, or let me say proceed, again they are going to check, to review your financial records.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you have to be very careful on that one, because even I believe even when you are retrenched or demoted, that will affect your salary, right?
Yeah.
Then definitely it's gonna affect the final grant. But I'm sure my manager would like to add on that one.
Oh, okay. So what should clients not do to not jeopardize themselves?
They shouldn't go and open credit. It's simple like that. They should wait until the property is registered in their name, and once it's registered, then they can start buying. Or because someone will say, no, I already bought a house, let me go and upgrade the car,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yes, and then they want to buy big cars,
furniture,
yeah, or
expensive
let me
furniture.
buy furniture on credit. So that will affect, because on the final grant it's written there that this thing is conditioned to such if you don't open accounts or whatever, not
Yeah.
accounts, actually credits.
Yeah.
So it's not a final thing until it's
The house is
actually
registered in
yeah.
your
They can even ask for new pay slips when there's a salary change, as Levi said. When the property is on lodgement,
Yeah.
they can ask a new pay slip to check if this person is still will still afford the property.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
yeah, that's what changes the final grant.
Okay, so it's very important for clients to remain in their good conduct, basically.
Until the property is registered.
Yeah,
if
and
it's
not too long.
if it's a normal house, yes, it's 3 months. But if it's a development, it will take that year or
Yeah,
year
so
and a half.
it does
They have
require
to be
some
patient.
discipline.
Yes,
It
yes,
does
they
require
have to be
some discipline.
mostly for the new developments.
Yeah.
Because they will wait there
Yeah.
more than a year. You see.
Okay, guys, I hope that's definitely.
There's something I wanted to mention. Not even get married.
Don't even get married. Guys, Just wait.
Until the property is registered.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the person
you're getting married to.
Yeah, you don't know their credit score
badly.
and stuff.
Don't get married in community of property. Yeah. Would you like to add something to that?
No,
Don't get married.
I wanted to say in community of property.
Yes. Okay. Guys, don't do that until the house is registered into your name. Thank you so much for those advices, guys. I didn't think about the don't get married one. So basically, if you've received a final grant, you have signed and it is already with the transferring attorneys, the conveyancers, and you've already signed documents there, still you need to conduct yourself in a very good manner. So make sure that you do not take anything on credits. Don't go upgrade your car. Don't buy a new car. A lot of companies are going to call you because they know that your credit score is good and your affordability is all right. But it doesn't mean that you should go for it because it might jeopardize you in the process of owning your new desired home. So our last discussion for today will be going into the breakdown of costs, which actually comes before your offer to purchase goes to the attorneys. I just want us to clarify. I know we touched on it on our last session. I just want us to clarify what exactly does a breakdown of cost entails, and the costs, where exactly do they go to, and what are they for? Do you also cover deposits in case a client doesn't receive a grant of 100%? Because there are cases like that where their credit score is good, their affordability is okay, but they do not necessarily qualify for 100% because of various reasons that we may cover in our next sessions. Do you prepare a client beforehand and be open enough to tell them that if the bank comes back and says this, they can give you 90%, then this is the 10% that you should expect to pay, etc.?
Yeah, that definitely. Basically, the breakdown of cost, we are preparing the buyer of what might happen.
Yeah.
Because it's not everyone that applies to the banks and get the 100%.
Yes.
So on the breakdown of cost, we explain and then we do the calculations. If the banks perhaps gives you 90%, we will calculate for you how much exactly is the deposit that you will have to come up with, and then the 80% as well. And then we also calculate for you the initiation fee. I think my manager did cover the initiation fee on our last conversation. And then also the bond and the transfer cost are included in the breakdown of cost.
Yeah.
So at least when you go ahead and then we apply and you get the 90 or 100, you know what's expected of you.
Let's just touch on bond and transfer costs. What are bond costs and where are they payable to? What are transfer costs and where are they payable to? Or who are they payable to?
In simple, transfer cost, the cost you pay to the transferring attorneys, and it's payable to the transferring attorneys. Bond cost, the cost you pay to the bond attorneys, and it's payable to the bond attorneys.
Okay. Would you like to add anything on that? Yeah.
Yeah, the bond, it's the reason why there's bond attorneys and you're supposed to pay that is that you are applying for a bond as a client, and then they have to the bank will appoint a bond attorney based on the panel of attorneys that they have. And then they'll have to open that bond, and you have to pay it because they are opening a bond account for you. And then the transferring attorney, their work is to change the ownership. So from the previous owner to the new buyer. You see, so also there, it's the seller who chooses the attorney, the transferring attorney. But you are the one as the buyer who's paying because you are the one who want the property to be in your name. Yes. Yeah. So transferring attorneys basically is those ones who change the ownership.
Totally, it makes sense. And we have reached the end of today's session, and I don't know if you guys have any other advices or any information maybe that you'd like to give to our buyers at home, new buyers and existing or returnee buyers, or is that all from you guys today?
No, if they have any questions, they mustn't hesitate to give us a call, or they can just send a WhatsApp text or on our Facebook page, and then we will definitely respond.
Definitely. All right.
All right. Good news is that vaccine is here, but it could be bad news for the repo rate. I see it can increase slowly, going up to where it was. So I'm saying to investors and people who wants to be homeowners, just take advantage while they haven't made changes on the repo rate.
Yes.
Come and buy houses like now.
Yeah.
Yeah, use this opportunity to invest in property while the repo rate is still down.
Still down.
Yeah, so we don't know. I think late this year it might increase. If the vaccine works.
Yeah.
It might increase.
Definitely.
Yes. And another thing we've got, I've got my personal calendar set in the office. So my clients, you can come and pick one.
Yeah.
They are limited. Right, thanks.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for that. And guys, we have indeed reached the end of today's session. I really hope that you found it informative. As Boss has elaborated, that we are expecting the repo rate to slowly climb back up again as the vaccine is coming. Should we reach, or rather go towards reaching the end of the coronavirus, hopefully, things will actually go back to normal in terms of where repo rate is concerned. So the sooner you come buy your house, the better. And remember that our agents are fully available to assist you with any advice free of charge. We will be having another session again next week. We hope that you guys will be able to join us, and please engage with us, suggest any topics or anything that you'd like us to know, and we'll be glad to assist you. Please stay safe, sanitize, and God bless you.